Good Friday morning. Spring is just around the corner and many of us might be looking to refresh our wardrobes. Stay tuned to find out how to get new clothes without spending a dime.
Good Friday morning. It is March 7th and here's what's up this week. A new way to get help on your taxes just dropped. We'll tell you how volunteers at the IU Law School are offering to do people's taxes.
Tax assistance isn't the only thing dropping, so are the birds on campus. Here's student perspectives on bird droppings all over campus.
Plus, we're joined in studio by a daughter of the media school, Alyssa Gallineau, who is here to talk about her new music and give an exclusive performance. All that and more for Friday, March 7th, 2025. Hello and welcome to What's Up Weekly. I'm Carson Johnson.
And I'm Tegan Emerson.
Tegan, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I had a great weekend this weekend. My sister and I went to Indy and we went shopping and I got this new top actually.
I love it. The top is slaying.
And then we went to go see Caleb here and his comedy show.
I've always wanted to see Caleb. I've seen his clips on TikTok and like his podcast with Drew and Brittany.
Yeah.
I want to go.
It was so funny.
I want to go so bad, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
2 days from this moment in time, I will be 21. So we may or may not be giving you a special little Carson's 21st birthday edition of What's Up Weekly next week, but we'll see. When most of us think about thrifting, we think of Goodwill or Plato's Closet or even some local thrift shops. None of the places we think of are free.
Well, a thrifting initiative on campus aims to change that. WU correspondent Sydney Moore brings us a look at a way to thrift without spending a dime.
So this is Campus Closet.
Working to fight fast fashion.
I'm very into giving back to my community.
That's what makes this club so different.
That's how I was taught by my mom.
This is not a normal thrift shop.
I wanted to come up with a resource for Bloomington for people to come and be able to get clothes for free without, hurting their pockets or the environment.
All of Campus Closet's clothes are free, whether you donate or not.
You don't have to bring clothes. It's not like, give clothes to get clothes. You just come.
But this club is not just directed at students. It's for everyone.
It's not charity. It's just, for the community. So literally anyone who, wants to come and participate.
Campus Closet hosts events at least once a month, with most events being local to campus. In Bloomington, I'm Sydney Moore, IUSTV News.
To find out more or see when the next pop-up closet is, visit Campus Closet at IU on Instagram. When we come back, we highlight students in Bloomington that will do your taxes for free, and we've got an exclusive interview right here in studio.
All that and more on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Taxes are a pain for everyone, but getting them done just got a little easier thanks to a partnership between the Maurer School of Law and the United Way of South Central Indiana. If you made under $67,000 last year, you're eligible for the help. You'll just need your W-2 forms, documents from other income sources, your ID, and your Social Security card. The program is completely run by law students and volunteers. It runs Monday and Tuesday nights from 6:30 to 9:30 in room 121 at Bayer Hall here on campus. One law student says the program is valuable hands-on experience for students.
Not only do they get to get that core personal interaction, but they also get to expand their tax preparation skills. It's one thing when you're sitting in an intro to income tax class, and it's a totally different thing actually working with the form and working with the people.
Last year, the program helped with getting people more than $100,000 in tax returns. The program will wrap up on March 21st. We are joined now in studio by media school student Alyssa Gallineau. Alyssa, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you're here today to talk about your new debut single. It is called Let Yourself Grow. Now, tell us about Let Yourself Grow. What inspired you to write it?
Yeah, so Let Yourself Grow is actually a song that I had wrote kind of last minute before going into a studio visit. I had a trip planned to go out to Columbus, Ohio, and I knew I wanted to bring out some new material. And the songs that I had were all songs that are still going to be on the EP, but I had something kind of just itching at me that I really wanted to get out. And it was a couple nights before I had gone to the studio, and I had just created it from scratch in my room. And I sent it to my guitarist, and I told him, hey, change of plans, we're learning a new song for this weekend. And I brought it from there.
I love like the stories of like people who have tremendous musical talent being able to like write something up last minute. I feel like I could.
It was something that happened organically, honestly. And again, just something I had to get out. So it was a very quick turnaround for that song, but we ended up putting it at the headline of the EP, and it became its own single.
Awesome.
Wow, awesome. Who are some of your biggest musical influences?
Yeah, I would say I grew up listening to Etta James and Christina Aguilera, and I think that's kind of how I got my voice and tone and, you know, the texture of my music even. I love really raspy singers and soulful singers also, so I grew up on a lot of Frank Sinatra also, but yeah, those are probably my big three.
Got it. Okay, so you are, as I said, a student at the media school. We have actually had classes together. And being a journalism major isn't, you know, the easiest thing all the time. So how do you balance being in school and your musical career at the same time?
It has been a little bit of an adjustment, nonetheless. It's a lot of passion that goes into my music, I would say, that keeps me going so naturally and organically. It doesn't feel like a lot of stress when I'm doing what I love and what I enjoy, which is music. So I kind of make sure I always have my schoolwork done. I keep that at the forefront. And then with my music career, I dedicate as much time as I can. And, you know, at the end of the day, so truthfully, that means a lot of all-nighters, a lot of long nights. I spend up until 4 a.m. sometimes. Like I'll cap that as my bedtime just working on music projects. So it's been a rough balance, but something I've learned to adjust to.
Awesome.
So you said already that you kind of stay up really late working on it, but can you take us through a little bit more of your songwriting process?
Absolutely. Every song kind of comes about differently. So it depends on whether it's stemming from a sound that I hear that I want to put lyrics to, and I've got some songs that did come out like that, whereas Let Yourself Grow was more so a message that I had in me that I wanted to create a soundscape for. And it just kind of depends on the song, I guess, but all of them come about in their own unique manner within roughly a day or so. And then when I'm in the studio, things change when I'm in person and live in front of the mic. And sometimes I'll add new lyrics or change things around. But for the most part, they'll either stem from a sound or an emotion.
Awesome. Well, you perform a lot at our local live music bar, the Bluebird. I've seen you there a few times. And what do you love about performing at Bird?
I think the best part about performing at Bird is the fact that I get to perform for my friends and sing for such a new demographic. Like I had mentioned, I grew up listening to artists like Etta James, and I love Frank Sinatra. So all of the songs that I had grown up singing and performing were in restaurant settings or even in nursing homes and places like that. So Bluebird is the first stage that I've ever had where I was able to explore music and sing for kids our age. So it's been nice to be able to just explore this demographic and new music like classic rock and, you know, alternative artists. So it's been a fun transition, I guess.
Awesome.
Well, now that you've released your first single, what are the next steps that you're gonna take?
Yeah, so next steps are I am going to wrap up my EP. So I've got a trip to Columbus coming up, and that will be my last trip there. And from there, my music will be sent to masters, and we will actually be putting together a vinyl for the EP, which is super exciting. So come April 26th, I will be having my EP release at the Bluebird, and I will be opening for Jukebox Luke that night. It's the Saturday of Little Five, so I'm super excited. But after I play all my music live for the first time there, I'll be able to sell and sign vinyl, which I'm super excited for also.
Oh, that is so cool. So where can people find you if they want to learn more about you or listen to your music?
Absolutely. People can find me on Instagram at Alyssa Gallerno. And I'm also, my song Let Yourself Grow is on all major streaming platforms. So YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Amazon. So any of those platforms, they'll be able to find my stuff.
All right, awesome. Well, I understand that you're going to give us a little performance of Let Yourself Grow.
Yes, I'm very excited.
All right, well, take it away.
Thank you. Since Eve's curse was undone by woman, to them I call them to set me free. It's hard to say what's killing me slowly, but there's something so holy falling to my knees. I'm full of mistakes and that's fine. I stare at the cars and the lines on the road. Yes, I'm fine on my own, that's okay and that's right. I've learned from you too many times. I am washed out from all the new light I own. It's a sign I've grown this time. The past is gone, I've let it all go. I choose to ride with the show. I'm not looking back home. I tend to chase the sun with no shoes for my toes. I bought an old ferry boat just to name it, let yourself grow. I'm full of mistakes and that's fine. I stare at the cars and the lines on the road. Yes, I'm fine on my own, that's okay and that's right. I've learned from you too many times how to refrain, I won't cross the line. I know it's a sign I've grown this time. Mistakes and that's fine. I'll stare at the cars and the lines on the road. Yes, I'm fine on my own, that's okay and that's right. I'm correcting my anger this time. I'll make peace between every prize I owe. It's a sign I've grown. From my fingertips into my bones, I already know. I've grown and I've grown and I've grown. Wave a handkerchief, baby, let's go. I already know.
Hitler. That was so
Absolutely
good.
love that.
Amazing.
Okay, Alyssa, always a pleasure to see you perform. Love to see it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Of course. Well, there is a new market that has consumers going, gotta catch them all. That's right, the Pokemon card market has skyrocketed with multiple buyers nationwide camping out for just the chance to buy the shiny card collectibles. Our Mike Badrov has the scoop.
Pokemon cards. You might know them by their lovable mascots like Pikachu and Charizard. But what you might not know is the Poke Pandemonium going on right now in your local stores, causing collectors to fight over remaining cards.
buying Pokemon. It's kind of a frustrating spot in the collecting landscape for people. Like retail stores have scheduled times that they put product out. If you're working 9 to 5, likely you're not going to find that stuff during the day.
That was Jake Young, a collector and employee of Bloomington's local collectible shop. He said the pandemic started because the Pokemon community just couldn't get enough of a newly released product.
Once people found out that the set was good, they bought everything that shops had, and then shops maybe overbought after seeing how quick it sold, and then distributors ran out of product, and then Pokemon still has not increased, the print cycle quantities to kind of increase for demand.
You might be asking this question: why are people buying these colorful cards in such high quantities? The answer: money and nostalgia.
There's people who collect for value. They know that they can resell it, or they're maybe buying prospectively, thinking that a card might go up in value, so they're buying in low, sort of like a stock. There's people that are fueled by nostalgia. They grew up, in 1995 when this started coming into the States, or 98, and they started buying them when they were a young kid. They buy that, and then they're like, well, what's out now? There's a new one in 151. They're like, oh, they made a set of all the original 151 Pokemon. So that kind of nostalgia really drives people into buying what's coming out in the modern era.
There's no telling what will continue to happen with this community. But until then, customers will continue to go, gotta buy them all. Mike Badger reporting, What's Up Weekly.
Tegan, have you ever been a Pokemon card gal?
I haven't. My brother was a big Pokemon card guy, but I've never really been into it. So this is interesting.
Neither have I. One time I stole a legendary Pokemon card from one of my cousins. I didn't even know what Pokemon it was. I just wanted it because it was legendary. And he tried to confront me and he was like, you stole it? And I was like, I'm your cousin. I would never do that. Guess what was in my back pocket? Well, anyway, still ahead on What's Up Weekly, we'll bring you this week's trending topics. Stay with us.
That's right, spring break is right around the corner, but it's not too late to start planning your spring break and doing it on a budget. The earlier you book, the more you'll save. So if you haven't booked your plane ticket yet, apps like Skyscanner and Hopper can help you find the best flight deals and set price alerts so you know when the best time to buy is. Whatever destination you want to go to, you can let the app know and it will send a notification to your phone when it's the lowest possible price. If affording a plane ticket is completely out of the question for you, don't worry, there's still hope. Consider doing a road trip with some of your friends. Not only could it be super fun, but it will also save you a lot of money. The second tip is about budgeting. Before you go, give yourself a daily spending limit so you can avoid impulse buys and keep your trip stress-free. Skip expensive restaurants and try making food at your Airbnb or find local food trucks if you're looking to save money on food. Look for free activities like beaches, hiking trails, city tours. Sometimes they even have free museums on certain days of the week. Or try to find places that offer student discounts. Now, speaking of making things at your Airbnb, going out can be really expensive, especially when bars know that tourists are there and they can hike up the prices. Before going out to the club, you can save money by stocking up on your favorite drinks beforehand and making them at your Airbnb before you get to the bar. Not only is this way cheaper than buying drinks at the bar, but it's fun to have a pregame before going out. Spring break doesn't have to cost a fortune. With a little planning, you can make the most out of your trip without maxing out your budget. That's all from me. Back to you guys.
Welcome back. It is time for trending topics. Get this. A new drug for dogs that aims to extend their life by 1 to 3 years has been certified as effective by the FDA. Loyal, a dog pharmaceutical company, has developed a drug that can extend dogs' life expectancies. The FDA hasn't approved the drug for use yet, but this new development brings it one step closer to that goal. In a statement, Loyal said that this is not an immortality drug, but if taken, can extend a dog's life up to the equivalent of nearly 30 human years. This new development could have profound impacts on the human race as well. An executive at Loyal said that if the drug is successful with dogs, there's potential for other companies to improve upon the formula and start human trials.
Wow. Just like, wow, that'd be crazy. If I could have my dog for a couple more years, I would 100% spend so much money on that.
I know. On the website, it says that they're supposed to take them at the age of 10 and it is safe for any dog that is above 14 pounds. So it's kind of cool. But I am fully prepared to go broke on that drug, because I cannot part ways with any dogs I've ever been able to.
Especially if it comes to humans. I mean, that's kind of awesome too. Yeah. All right, well, this past Sunday evening, the 97th Oscar Awards took place in Hollywood. And even though no one got slapped on stage this year, there were still many notable moments. Honora took home 5 trophies, including Best Picture. Mikey Madison won Best Actress, one of the big 4 awards. Adrien Brody took 5 minutes for his acceptance speech of Best Actor, leading people to miss the last 2 awards being presented, unfortunately. And Timothée Chalamet was snubbed once again for Best Actor in A Complete Unknown. I am such a big award show girl, and I love the award shows. I was really disappointed with the Oscars this year.
I was fuming.
Yeah.
First of all, Honora, the Romeo and Juliet story is tired, for one thing. Mikey Madison, love her. She seems nice. Demi Moore was robbed. The Substance was robbed for Best Picture. And then Adrien Brody, don't even get me started. First of all, Ralph Fiennes should have won Best Actor, and not Adrien Brody. And then that acceptance speech, it made him come off extremely petulant and childish.
Yes.
And then when the orchestra started like trying to play him out, and he said, "No, please stop playing, I'll wrap up soon." And then he proceeded to talk for another 3 minutes. I don't know.
I was so mad because I was watching on Hulu, and I was waiting obviously for the last 2 awards because those are the most important ones. And because of his 17-minute speech, I didn't get to watch them. And my sister had to FaceTime me, which I got to see it anyway, so it was fine. But I wasn't a fan of the Oscars this year.
Yeah, neither was I.
Yeah.
But, you know, well, maybe there's always
next year.
Well, we've heard a lot about bird flu lately, but IU students are having to deal with something a little bit different. Bird poo.
WU correspondent Graham DeWitt took to campus to ask students how they feel about this yearly issue.
Yeah, guys, I don't know about you, but I certainly haven't had much fun having to walk around parts of a sidewalk due to it being absolutely covered. And I'm sure it's even worse for the students who brought cars to campus. So I'm here at Forest Storm to get a better understanding of the grievances students have. So how do you feel about having to deal with, you know, all the birds just like crapping everywhere like on the sidewalk and stuff?
It's quite annoying. I've stepped in it on my shoes. I've never stepped in bird poop before this winter. And it also, a bird pooped on my girlfriend's head, so that was really funny.
Do you have any thoughts or grievances regarding the recent bird activity?
I mean, I've seen thousands of crows around campus. It is kind of crazy. It doesn't happen like this around where I'm from. The droppings are a bit gross, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
It smells awful. You can't walk anywhere anymore without it getting on your shoes. It looks terrible. It makes it look like IU's campus isn't being taken care of, and there definitely should be, you know, some solution to, you know, help solve the problem.
Usually walking around, pretty much around Forest or Reed, it smells a lot like bird poop, and it's just kind of getting around everybody's cars. Like I know somebody whose car has been messed up twice from parking in Forest and having bird poop all in their cars. So I mean, I think it's a really big issue, especially for people with cars, because you can't always get your car washed, and it's not free, so you have to pay $15 to get your car washed, and that's always a hassle. So I think it is creating an issue, especially at night when you're trying to walk through, like trying to get back into my dorm, trying to avoid getting pooped on by birds. It is a really annoying thing going on around campus.
With all the recent, you know, bird activity that we've had with them, like, you know, pooping all over the sidewalk, what are your, like, you know, thoughts or grievances when it comes to that?
Well, me and a bunch of my buddies over at Tulip Tree, we own cars, and it's really annoying to have to clean it off every day. It uses up our materials, it takes our time, and we gotta spend money at the car wash.
Yeah, so have you like specifically had any like issues? Like how many times have you been to the car wash, and how big of an issue has it been for yours?
Well, I have a smaller car, so it's a little bit smaller of a target, but I'm going like once, twice a month, and back in New Jersey, I don't have to do that at all. If there's anything IU can do to stop the birds from doing all that, they should do whatever it takes.
Come back, we're going to listen and give you some unqualified advice on your dating dilemmas. Stay with us. The producers are shading us. They just call this unqualified. Welcome back. It's time for everyone's favorite segment where viewers write in with their dating dilemmas and we try our best to answer them. But first, Tegan, I have to ask, how is your dating life going recently?
Oh, I wish you wouldn't ask me that. It doesn't, nothing's really happening right now. Nothing to report back, unfortunately.
Okay, I'll take you out sometime and I'll fix you up with a man.
Oh, fabulous, fabulous.
But enough about us. Let's see what's going on with this week's lovers. Can we get question number 1 up on the screen? Okay.
All right.
Question number 1. I love to go out and my boyfriend doesn't. He also hates it when I go out with my girlfriends, and every time I do, he accuses me of cheating. What do I do? Tegan?
Get a new boyfriend. Sorry, that was really blunt, but like, he accuses you of cheating every time you're going out with your girlfriends? Like, that's kind of crazy. I mean, it feels like he doesn't trust you at all.
This whole argument about like every time your girlfriend goes out, she's cheating is so tired because that just shows that you are not secure in yourself as a man. And if you can't let your girlfriend go out without throwing a temper tantrum, then you don't deserve a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So my answer is that you should break up with him. How about question number 2?
All right, my boyfriend just asked if we can open up the relationship. I don't want to at all, but I love him and I'm afraid if I deny him, he'll either break up with me or cheat anyway. What do I do?
Oh my God, okay. You also get a new boyfriend.
Yeah.
This is so stupid. I don't like, okay, never mind. I'm going to try to not inject my personal feelings into this. But break up with him, because if you tell him now, that means that you know that he's thinking about hooking up with other people. And chances are if he asked you to do that, then he's probably going to want to go do it. So I would say break up with him. If I were in that situation, I would not be able to trust my boyfriend going forward, so I would say break up with him.
I feel the same, because even if someone did bring that up to me, I'd be like, okay, you don't, like, what's
Like,
the
I'm not
deal?
enough
Like,
for
I'm
you?
not enough for you.
My
and now
cookie
you,
isn't good?
Yeah, like now you want to go this way. So I also agree. I would probably break up.
You can tell him that he can go be open while he's not in a relationship.
Yeah, be open by yourself, babe. Yeah. All right, and that's what's up this week. Tune in next week for more local and entertainment news.
As always, be sure to follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram at IUSTV Woo.
For What's Up Weekly, I'm Tegan Emerson.
I'm Carson Johnson for the last time before I'm 21. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.